Thank you so much for having me. My name is Beth Harper, and I'm the founder of Steadfast Society. And I'm also a business coach, and I help women start their own online businesses. Our goal at Steadfast Society is really just to help women create impact, influence, and income through their business. Everything's business based, obviously. But yeah, my heart is just for women and just helping them thrive online, getting really, really visible, really getting out of their comfort zone so that they can do what they're called to do. Right now, I just rebranded my business to be Steadfast Society. It was prior to Steadfast Society. It was just my name, and I've always had a heart for like collaboration and community, and just felt that using my brand as a name wasn't really going to encompass that, because at the end of the day, I don't really want it to be all about me. Yes, I'm here to mentor and encourage and inspire women, but there's so many other incredible women out there who just deserve to be featured and to share their expertise. So that's kind of my mission and heart behind Steadfast Society. So right now I'm pouring my heart into that, collaborating, connecting with tons of women, just that we can feature them over on Steadfast Society. Growing up, at least my high school years, once I was thinking about a career, I originally wanted to be a psychologist. So I went to university, originally majored in psychology. Then I realized, you know what, I don't think I can handle hearing people's problems every single day. And switched over to communications, thought I would go like the charity route. I was really obsessed with an organization called Charity Water. They've totally like revolutionized the charity sector. Still a huge fan, and they're a big part of what I do now. But I realized charity is not my thing. And during my last couple months at university, I connected with a couple of friends on campus, and we actually started an online blog. And I would say that is the moment that I don't think I knew it at the time, but that is the moment that I started to become an entrepreneur. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I haven't always been the best at being told what to do. So it kind of just made sense as I kind of discovered more of the online space. We started blogging more. We grew our Instagram account really, really quickly. And I just started to realize there's something here, and this can totally be monetized. This was really early days when people were still kind of trying to figure out how to use Instagram for business. People were still kind of just starting blogs. I would say it was a totally different time than right now, where I feel like there are a lot of people on the online space at this point. But yeah, I would say that was the moment that I realized, okay, I'm probably going to become an entrepreneur. And then just kind of went through a journey from there. I kind of started off by doing the whole 9-to-5 thing. I didn't like it. I found an opportunity to become a social media manager. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I could totally do this for a living, just run people's social media accounts. And I realized I did not love that. It was very, very time consuming, and it just wasn't my jam. And just through all of that, ended up discovering business coaching. And I was like, this is it. This gives me the opportunity to connect with people, because that's something that I love, just having that, those conversations and still talking with people and helping them through something. But it was something more exciting to me, like business at the time. So probably like finance. That's probably always the scariest thing. I'm sure everyone would say that. So just thinking from when I left my 9-to-5 to become more of a freelancer. So that was probably my journey, 9-to-5 freelancer, and then like starting my own business. Cause I would say it's a little bit different than actually running an actual business. And so at least jumping into freelance, that was really scary. I just knew that I wouldn't have a consistent paycheck to start until I got a good amount of clients. And yeah, I would say that was the biggest thing. I knew that I was really unhappy, and I was just like, this is not going to work. I am really grumpy at home. I am not doing my best at work because I don't love what we're doing. Something has got to change. So I think I just knew something had to change. Like either my attitude had to change at my 9-to-5, and I knew that was probably not going to happen. So I think staying just felt, it wasn't an option for me. I was more willing to take the risk, even if it was a financial risk at the time. And obviously things have worked out now. So honestly, this entrepreneurial journey it's literally a journey. It doesn't stop. there's always things as you grow that you have to overcome. I love this phrase that I always hear people say, new level, new devil. So every time you want to up level to something new, whether you want to hit a new financial goal, or maybe you want to reach a bigger audience, whatever it is, if you're trying something scary just to grow your business, that's what you need to do, there's going to be something that you have to face. So I would say it's definitely been a roller coaster ride. There's been lots of highs, really big things to celebrate, and there have been really big lows where, it's been moments where I've just really wanted to give up, or I've just hid under the covers for probably longer than I needed to. And so I think it comes down to us as women to either decide we're going to stick with this and go through it. And that's a big reason I called my new brand Steadfast Society, because Steadfast is all about committing to something, staying focused on it, and just going with it. That's what entrepreneurship is. It's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. And it's, even once you make it, there's going to be moments where you need to take risks again to keep going higher. And those risks feel bigger and larger than like your previous risks. So that's what I would say. It's been a lot of ups and downs. Again, lots of things to celebrate and lots of lessons learned. And I think that's a big thing about the low moments. Make sure that you are learning from those moments so that you know how to tackle anything else that comes your way. Again, that's similar to an experience you've gone through. I feel like there's been quite a few, or at least a couple like highlight moments that I could remember. At least this year, one of the big things is I had a big breakthrough with passive income in the summer. Or towards the beginning of the summer, and it just allowed me to have a bit more rest in my business and be able to lean on that. My passive income, journey has, there's still a ton of things that I'm learning through it, which is really exciting and sometimes a little bit frustrating. There's always things to troubleshoot. There's always improvements to be made. But I think that was something that I had really been working towards, from the beginning of the year. So being able to finally kind of come to a breakthrough with that towards the beginning of the summer was so helpful. And I was actually able to take a really good break in the summer and just enjoy some travel. So I would say that was a big win. I would say probably leaping into my business was also a big highlight, because I had been running my business while working part-time. So being able to go into it full-time, I would say those two things are probably the biggest things that I would celebrate. Every day. Every day you question whether you want to do this or not. I know not every day. There's definitely really good seasons, but I would say that's definitely something that I work really hard on, my mindset. It can say the ugliest things. And I'll be honest, there have been times where I just, there's not much I can do. It's in, and it's taken a day away from me. I would say that this year, prior to launching Steadfast Society, I knew that was a big up-level moment for me, because I had left kind of that online blogging, collaborating world behind a couple years ago. And I think in my heart, I always knew that I wanted to come back to that or incorporate that into my coaching business in some way or another. And I had felt called to do that for some time, and had kind of waited, was trying to find the right time. And yeah, I was kind of stalling on that. But I would say prior to Steadfast Society, I kind of hit like a dip, I would say. And I really just needed to retreat. And a lot of it was just mindset stuff. Can I really do this? I'm tired. All of the self-doubt stuff that you'll hear. Am I enough? Do people even want my stuff? I don't know anything about business, blah, 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 everything. And then you just forget about all of the successes you've had. Your mindset just wants to blind you. And I read this incredible post by the founder of, I don't know if you've heard of Shop Van Dough. Well, the brand's called Van Dough, but it's an online shop. I think they're based in LA. Yeah, I think they're based in LA. She has an incredible brand. She's successful. I think they're still definitely growing, but their brand is amazing, and I think they've been running for quite a few years now. Everything that they produce is beautiful. It's also they have a really fun brand. But she was just sharing this post about how most of the time she feels like a failure. Most of the time all of her mindset gets in the way, yet she's still been able to build such an incredible brand, and she knows that they're still growing. Like, they still have so much more growing to do. And she's a founder or CEO / founder that I personally really look up to. So just hearing that from somebody who's come before me, who started years ago, who's gone through this whole entrepreneurial journey, I think that was such a huge booster for me to just remember, you know what, this is just part of the process. But yeah, I would say pretty recently, and it's a voice that I constantly hear, and I know it's a voice that I'll continue to hear, and it's down to me to decide whether I listen to it or not. There's this business coach, her name's Shanna Skidmore, and she says that entrepreneurs are basically running their business for 4 reasons. Like, they have one of these 4 motivators, and maybe we're all motivated a little bit by all of them, but there's always one that stands out. I think one of them is the challenge. So you just love the challenge of being able to hit the next goal. The other one is impact. One of them is art. So if you're more of a creative entrepreneur, like, you're doing it so that you can do the art that you feel called to do. And the last one is freedom. So I am such a freedom girl. I would say just having time. Time is such a big thing. I feel like I've been able to create a lot of space for time for myself, to just take care of myself. So actually going to the gym, eating well, and I'm still like pizza, McDonald's girl. So like, I love to have a fun balance of both. But actually just being able to take care of myself, because I know when I'm able to take care of myself, I just show up as the best version of me for my business. I've been able to have a lot more time to travel, spend time with friends, and I don't mean just like the fun stuff's important, but I think doing like meaningful things. So like spending genuine time with friends, like talking to them, not just going to like the fun parties and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think I'm very like cautious, or not cautious, conscious, whatever the word is, of my time and the way that I use it. I still, don't get me wrong, I still spend time on Netflix or like doing some of the silly stuff. But yeah, if I can find a way to give back with some of my time when I'm not working, whether it's just like volunteering at church or being able to serve a friend, I don't know, it could be the smallest thing. Maybe they need a ride, or they need somebody to accompany them on an appointment, whatever it is. Those things are the things that really matter to me. And I know my relationships and people, like, they appreciate that. They remember those things. It's not about things that you give them. It's just about the thought, I think, and just letting them know that you care. That's such a good question. I think I'm very aware that the way a man runs a business is very different from how a woman runs a business. And I solely work with women. That is who my audience is. And so I think I'm very passionate. Well, I know that I'm very passionate about seeing women succeed in the entrepreneurial world. And even on a smaller scale, I don't have this company that's like this huge empire and like New York City type thing. But there are a lot of incredible women out there who maybe are scared to just like step out and do something because they don't feel good enough. This is kind of a man's world, and I think that's shifting. But for a long time, culture's made it a man's world. And I just see so many women rising up. And at this point, I know when I first started, that was something that really, really intimidated me, telling men that I was a business coach, because I just thought they'd like be really snarky or think like, what does she know about business or whatnot? Yeah. So yeah, I think my heart is really just to empower women, and I run my business from that point of view. And again, for me, it always comes back down to that mindset thing. So if I let my mindset win, I'm kind of losing the game there. I'm not helping my fellow like sisters in the world come out on top. I would say that's my take. But for the most part, I do think of myself as a general entrepreneur, but having like a female audience, I know that there's a lot of empowerment when it comes to women in the world. So that's a big one. One, is it your purpose to do this? So whatever you want to jump into, whether maybe you want to become a photographer or a designer, maybe you want to go into coaching, or maybe you want to sell a specific product, think about the underlying purpose. Maybe you feel passionate about what you're wanting to start. That's great. Passion is important, but I would say purpose is even more important, because it's going to be hard. There's going to be a lot of work up front to be done. So you need to have a purpose behind it. You need to feel called to do what you want to do. That would be my biggest thing. Nail that down. Do you just want to start a business because other people are doing it, or because there is something calling you to do that? If you have a purpose behind your business, if you feel called to do that, then I would just say reach out and get help. Get a good community around you. So find a mentor who can support you, walk you through the journey, take some courses, take some self-study courses, find what's right for you. Some people really thrive on self-study courses. Some people buy them and never take them. So just know what works for you. And then the other big thing is having a community of people around you. So whether it's local friends who can just encourage you on what you're about to start, or joining a mastermind group, finding some online entrepreneurs who can just encourage you on this journey. I would say those are probably the most invaluable things that I have placed in my life: a community, and then just having the resources I need to start my business and scale my business at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think being honest with yourself, like you said, with people buying online courses sometimes and never finishing them, you just need to like really tune into who you are to know to make sure that you're investing your money wisely, right? And your energy. So
Yeah,
I totally agree. And support as well is
absolutely.
just like, you need it. So
Yeah. You might think you can do it alone, and that's fine. I think you can probably do some things alone, but you won't get very far. There's a quote that's coming to mind. I think it's like, if you want to get things done, go on your own. But if you want to get far, like, take people with you or something. I'm like totally butchering it, but it's something along those lines. And it's so true. I know I would not be the person, the entrepreneur, the woman that I am right now, had it not been for my mentors, and had it not been for my business besties that have just helped me get to where I am today.
oh my gosh, that's so lovely. Thank you so much for being interviewed by us today. I'm sure that our readers will take so much out of it, and even just being able to relate and being like, oh my God, she's not perfect too. Like, she struggles. And like, I think everyone does, right? Like, no
Yeah.
matter how successful you get, there's always going to be a moment. And I do find that it is before launching something new or getting excited about something or knowing that it's time, then you kind of think back and be like, oh my gosh, like, no. And then that fear kind of takes over. And it's great. I love everything that you've said. I agree with you 100%. And thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Sarah.